And welcome back, everybody, to the WoW Nightcap. My name is Flattus. With me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Talan.
How's it going?
So, just to let everybody know, I am dealing with some allergies. Talan's still getting over a cold. So,
Yes, I don't sound as bad as I did when I made a guest appearance on the other show, but I still sound pretty terrible.
so with that being said, if we don't sound, if our pipes aren't humming like they used to, that's probably why. But we're gonna get through. There's a lot of information to get through, so we're gonna get through it. Deliver the best information we can at the bar, and you know, take it one step at a time. I think we should start with what's coming down the pipeline. Uh, sooner than later. And both these things happen on the same day. So, if you've been a fan of Plunder Storm, or have at least went in and experienced it, from now until April 30th, it is now plunder surging. So, you get double the plunder. To help you level and get all the rewards between now and April 30th. What happens on April 30th is that Plunder Storm will end, which, for those of you that liked Plunder Storm, hopefully they bring it back in a new way and in the future. But Talon, how do you feel about Plunder Storm ending, or at least Blizzard giving double plunder from now until the end to help people catch up?
As I'm just gonna echo more or less how I have been. This really wasn't for me. When you have friends to do this with, it's a whole lot of fun. The fact that they're like doing a sort of like last hoorah send off, I think is really cool. So those who haven't had the best luck or have had to do this solo for the entirety that it's been there, I think it's great. But I'm also very glad that it's ending, because I'm hoping that more people are going to be back in the world, and we're going to be able to see what other experimentations coming down the pipeline, which, speaking of, there has been another new announcement, which I'm really excited to get to. But as far as Plunder Storm is concerned, I am very glad that it's going by the wayside for now.
Yeah, I hope they go in and make some tweaks to it, and do something, maybe do a different zone or redo the map. Like, I would hate to see the same map again. Like,
If they brought it back and did like a season 2.
yeah, like change it up a little bit, do a different area with different mobs, maybe even different spells. Like, keep some of the old ones that worked well, change up some of the old ones. I think that would be fun. As long as they always do it and it's free, and it's always the thing that happens every once in a while. Like, I would hate to see this go away, because I think a lot of people did have fun with it. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Again, it's just one of those things where I'm glad it exists for other people who enjoy it, and a lot of people did. I mean, there was no small amount of people who were watching people do it on Twitch, and there was a sizable dip in the amount of time that you spent waiting for queues or just seeing other people out and about in the world. So it's good stuff.
Yeah. So again, I'm here for it. I would like to see them do more with it in the future. So we'll see. Also happening on April 30th, the Cataclysm Classic pre-expansion patch. Can't believe I'm saying that. The Cataclysm Classic pre-expansion patch goes live April 30th. So if you're a friend of the classic, if you're a fan of the classic era content, this is where it will change, and this is where most people say that classic stopped being classic, and this is where it became what they see in current retail WoW. But for those of you that never played Cataclysm and are going through expansion, Cataclysm had some ups and some downs. It did a lot for the game. It streamlined some areas, did some things well. I would suggest having some fun with it going in there. And if you've never gone through Cataclysm, going through Cataclysm, and enjoy your time for what it's worth. It had some great dungeons, had some great raids. Firelands raid is an awesome raid. Still one of my favorites. So if you ever want to know why people, this is where people I think who have never played, through Cataclysm and understand. Like I don't understand why people are like saying that Classic is better. Like you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out now. And I'm curious. I am curious. So if what people will do with that. So yeah, are you at all interested in playing through Cataclysm?
No, I don't want to do Cataclysm again. No,
Okay.
I sure don't. Nope, not even a little bit. No, that's a hard no for me. I didn't like Cataclysm. Just gonna throw that out there. I think it was a brave thing that they did to kind of wreck the world. But going back to some of those old systems and a classic retelling of that doesn't sound like a good time. But I will echo you when you said that Firelands was a whole lot of fun. Firelands was a heck of a lot of fun and some of the best transmog in the game. So I will give it that.
For real. Yeah.
But
I
no,
will say, yeah, I will say that they're making some changes to like leveling speeds and stuff like that. So I could
that'll be
see,
good.
yeah, I could see some things going well. So
One of the most frustrating stories that I have from Cataclysm. Um, oh, I'm gonna forget it. The Thousand Finger place. Oh my gosh, there used to be a river, now it's not.
Thousand Needles.
Thousand Needles, is that what it was? Yes, Thousand Needles, Thousand Fingers. Wow. Um, Being able to like kind of navigate that area before Cataclysm, just fine.
Yeah.
During Cataclysm and after, no, that was absolutely terrible. And I remember going there. I just happened to be questing around that area, and I
Hmm.
was just like, "This is not fun. I don't ever want to do this again. Please don't."
So it went well then. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, well, yeah. I left that zone and I never looked back. Now it's not so bad now that I can like fly around and stuff. Now I could fly before, but it was just not as fast, not nearly as fun as it is now, and certainly not any dragonflight for sure. But it just was not my cup of tea.
Nice. I mean, I agree with you. Like, like so I don't like some of the changes they made, but like at least now I feel in WoW they're using some of those changes to set up something for the future. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see where it goes, how it goes, where it goes. So so also future things I would say like current like content that we're going to be able to play within I would say the next within the next month. We're going back to Pandaria. It looks like. So the whole hints at Pandemonium looks like is now Pandaria remix, and it looks like uh, a fun way to experience an expansion. Uh, Talon, like you said, it's an involved version of Chromie Time, I think, that lets you power level characters, but also get all the things from an expansion that you want to buy using weird like Diablo, gearing and items and all sorts of whatnot. So, what do you? Are you excited about? Are you excited about going back to Pandora? Are you going to use this? I should say at all.
I absolutely will be using this. So now there's a like a positive voice here because I feel like I've been pretty critical of some of the things that WoW has been doing recently, but this is one of the things that I'm actually really excited about. So when I first heard about it, I kind of went on a little bit of a rant about how many quote unquote classics are we going to have? Like at what point does every expansion just get remade into another classic? But upon reading further and seeing a little bit more about what remakes is actually all about. It's exactly like you described, a new way to sort of I don't know if power level is a word, but I can't think of anything else to really accurately describe it because you're going to get a whole lot of bonuses to XP. You're going to have a new gearing system and you're going to have gyms that matter for the first time in a really long time, just out in your leveling experience, which is really cool. That hasn't been a thing since just before Wrath ended, or just before Crusade. Trying to find gems that would actually work for your gear. Um, I'm looking at this and getting really excited. Um, if I remember correctly, a lot of people did not like Mists of Pandaria when it first dropped. There was a lot of criticisms behind it. A lot of people were really upset that it was very Asian aesthetic when WoW has been typically like Middle Earth type stuff, high fantasy. But Mists of Pandaria proved to be, at least now, one of the better expansions that WoW has ever had. I remember going back, like thinking back, going onto the Isle, the big turtle back there, and just seeing a bunch of people running around doing all sorts of quests, doing the world bosses, going back and forth between all the four major. I don't. Would it be spoilers? Nah, I don't think so. But seeing like all the four major world bosses there, to each stage, that was a whole lot of fun, and that just felt super, super engaging. I'm hoping that we have some of that feeling captured again, and the ability to get gear that will be relevant. And this is according to a Twitter post and I think a Blue post as well. The gear is actually going to be relevant and help you towards being ready for the War Within. So it looks like this thing is going to be around at least until pre-patch.
Yeah. I'm excited for because those gem slots or whatever they're calling them, like that are going to OP your characters, right? Because like that can't carry over to the main game. But the cool thing is that if you make a character, they're going to increase the character count on all servers. So, but these characters, once they're done with the Pandaria remix, all these characters become your characters permanently, which great. Love that. So this is like a chance to like play other classes that you don't normally play. Like this is like break the mold, like play something you don't normally play because you're gonna have a free character level out of it. So might as well.
You know
like
what I just realized?
Yeah.
That I feel like they're throwing this in there to get us ready for warbands.
Maybe like, I mean, I guess if you don't have any other characters, this is a great starting point for it. So if you're like not a what's it called, a multi, like an alt person. So
Oh, an alcoholic.
yeah.
You mean there aren't other people out there that have multiple talons over and over?
Yeah. That's their producer, Susan. She don't do that.
Has had the one character the whole time.
Pretty much, yeah. Which is funny because now she's like, well, maybe I'll make a different. Like, she doesn't want to make a hunter because she's like, if I'm gonna get a free character out of it, why would I make a hunter? I was like, exactly. So
Right.
Uh,
I wonder what she'd play.
I don't know. She's thinking
Cross
about
mage?
it. Yeah, I don't know it. I don't know yet.
Anyway, I think that this is kind of like, hey, look at these new shiny bobs you get, and we also have warbands coming, but without like saying it quite like that.
I mean, it's a little bit like that. Because in all honesty, we really just want them to. It's part of it. I think is like, what's an area that they put a lot of work in, and like a lot of people haven't experienced. They probably have the data on that, right? And Pandaria might be that one. If they're going to allow like people to make Drakthir and whatever, and just start from 10, go to 70, constantly, like one of the things you can constantly upgrade is like your run speed, like your actual like speed. And I guess you can get up to 875% speed boost. So you could just foot like just foot run across the whole continent if you wanted. It's ridiculous. You get to keep your transmogs. You can get, and there's no auction house. There's no professions. It's just go, go, go. And I'm wondering how that's going to affect like the raids. Like, are we going to need full people for the raids? Like,
And see,
can you
I
just
don't know.
do partial raiding? Because you're going to be these boosted godlike characters. Like, I hope so. I hope it's like, hey, you can bring 6 people into this raid and get this raid done. I'm like, great. That's great. I want that.
I'm really hoping that that's how it ends up being, and if the gyms are being touted the way that they are, I'm really hoping that we could go in there and see like someone be able to solo some of these things. That would be really cool. I don't know if that'll be possible, but it would be really, really cool to see. But it is super unclear about how, you know, how much is actually going to be needed for each particular part. Like dungeons are going to remain the same. You can still go in there and do them as you've always done them. But the raiding part, like it would be really cool to see some guilds come together and like we only have like half our roster right now. Can we do this? Like, are we that like OP? Um, we'll see. I'm really excited to see it. I want it to be that because I would really like to go into the Throne of Thunder and just stomp that dude again by myself. That'd be great. Be super fun.
Yeah, it would be a lot. Like the Isle of Thunder is fun. Like all of it is just a good time. So I'm here for it. I want it bad. So I'm excited. Like a lot excited for this. Like I'm already thinking about like, all right, first I'm gonna level this, and then once I get that maxed out, like maybe I level something else, and I'll just get that character too. And like think about like, oh man, if the like levels super like if I just get the characters no matter what level they're at, like why would I not level it? And then if this ends right before War Within pre-patch starts, all those characters that I get, then I can go do the pre-patch because pre-patch for is going to give you catch-up gear as well, starting at 493. That's upgradable up to 8 times. So you're going to be able to like really kind of zoom up your characters pretty great.
But
So
isn't like I may be misunderstanding this, but I thought the gear that you get is going to be able to like sustain you up until like actual launch. Am I misunderstanding that?
from what Pandaria remix?
Yeah.
I have no idea, but I know that the pre-launch. I mean, if you don't play Pandaria remix, the pre-patch gear is still going to sustain you through the first couple of levels of or the first couple of zones of
The War Within.
War Within. So
I don't
I
know.
mean, my thought would be that if the gear is good enough, you don't have to worry about it. I would still do the pre-launch event because it's the pre-launch event, but I don't think it'll hurt anything.
Right.
So
Well, and the pre-launch events, those are always really fun to just like be there and be involved when the actual service goes live. I remember doing that for Legion, and that was a whole lot of fun. I enjoyed that quite a bit. One of the few things I enjoyed about Legion, but the pre-patch was fun. Uh,
take that, Legion. I mean, what do you think about like the whole like you're gonna get gear that's gonna be like right off the rip, like no matter what the gear is, like you're just gonna be able to go through and get some good gearing going and get some scenario. You get to play through the scenarios again, which I think a lot of people haven't done.
mhm.
Like there's a lot like the accelerated leveling and content like Jade Forest is from level 10 through 70. The scenarios are Greenstone Village, Brewing Storm, Theramore's Fall, which I forgot about Theramore's Fall, which is, if for you lore heads out there, big time stuff, honestly. Then you could also do the Temple of the Jade Serpent, Scarlet Halls, Scarlet Monastery, Skullomance, because they redid all those dungeons. They did.
So no, go ahead.
I was going to say 20 through 70 is Valley of the Four Winds, Castering Wilds, the 5.1 Landfall campaign. Also, are they giving us all these zones right off the I guess they have to be just giving everything. Like all of it is going to be available to you.
Well,
So
I can't imagine that it's going to be locked behind any like either zone progression or gear progression. because if like it's really is like the remix and they want you to be able to go do all of those things, um, I would find it very hard to see how they would one navigate what is it, the Seven Stars? Is that's what it was called, or the Horde and the Alliance home bases there? Um, how they would navigate between those two, because you get those pretty fairly like late into the like zone progression, I guess. The story of that. And if you were waiting for all of that, then you wouldn't be able to do like all of the fun stuff, like some of those scenarios that we're talking about, if you just want to jump in there and do it right off the rip. And that also means that if you were doing the Isle stuff, how long would you spend on doing the Isle stuff before you actually went back and did any other zone content?
Yeah.
So, but like I have to bring in my hype just a little bit. And you had mentioned it before, and I mentioned this in another Discord channel, but it does sound like Chromie a lot, but way faster. And part of me is a little worried that this is going to be, again, incentivizing people to jump away from retail until the War Within, because of all the way that you get gear, or at least that it's assumed that you're going to be able to get gear and just level through. Now, this just could be the alt-friendly part that Ian Hazzikostas has promised that he was going to start doing, and not make it a punishment to have alts. And this might be the thing. That way you have all your alts ready however you want them. But as far as the gear is concerned, and like this is my hope. I hope that the gear is super OP and you just get to go wherever you want and experience whatever part of the story you want wherever you want to. That's my hope. Now, it's still going to be it remains to be seen how they're actually going to implement that, but that is my hope, that you can just get some super cool neat stuff and you get to just be super OP while you're out there, and when it comes time to get ready for the War Within, that'll carry over and you're ready to go.
That would be nice. I mean that really would be nice.
I mean, do you think that they would do that? Because this would be the first time that they've ever, like the way that they're wording it, this will be the first time that they've ever basically just given good level gear just because. Like it's always like they've given like pre-patch stuff, they've given it because they're like, okay, you only have like 24 hours or a week or whatever to get this done, so good luck.
Yeah.
But now it sounds like they're doing it like, here you go, you get to have it, and we're still months out.
It's 10.27, so that it's mid-May, they said. So we know the expansion's not coming out until fall-ish, I would say. End of summer,
so,
beginning of fall.
I would hate to have another Christmas release.
I'm not a fan of the Christmas release either.
No, that didn't go over well.
I understood why they did it, but I'm not a fan of why they did it. Like either, like I understand why they did it. I just not a fan of the reasoning. So, but c'est la vie. Like here we are. My favorite thing is the meta gems. Like I just like, because they have all these meta sockets, right? Like Life Storm, right? Like equip, summon a storm, call down 5 bolts of lightning every 1 second. Each bolt inflicts 25, let's say 20, I'm just round up, 26,000 nature damage to an enemy within 30 yards. During the storm, 3 flowers grow on the ground around the caster. After 5 seconds, the flowers bloom, restoring 388,471 health and granting 1,720 haste to all allies for 10 seconds. What? I mean, that's fantastic. Like, you're just like these uber gods doing these weird.
Say, like, if you could pull that off, like, this is why I really hope that you can go into like a raid and just like, I don't need nobody. I got lightning bolts that grow flowers and heal me for basically any damage I take.
Yeah, I think you're still gonna need some people, right? I don't think soloing the raid. I'm sure someone will figure it out. I'm sure Someone will figure it out because you're still going to have Siege of Orgrimmar, Throne of Thunder, and heroic raids. So they're going to have the heroic raids, right? And I wonder
Sure.
because they have the bronze currency with this, right? So you can
Well,
buy
and
all.
then that's the other part. Like you're going to be able to get reskins of gear that wasn't normally obtainable unless you either got ahead of the curve or you completed it on mythic level.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean,
Keep in mind, Mist was a long time ago.
yeah, was a long time, but I'm assuming it's you got to be able to make whatever character, right? Like even if let's say you make a Drakthir, like these raids weren't tuned around Drakthir being like, you know, boosting people's DPS either. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I get modern day, think about it. I get modern day class like warrior, prot warrior with going into then Pandaria, there's some skills. There's some skills and abilities that I think, will kind of like throw the game up in a loop. And then the fact that I can use the bronze to, you know, like even like here, like they say, there's no such thing as a bad drop. Any drop you get can be converted into a new currency, bronze. So even if you get something you don't need, you just turn it to bronze and use the currency to upgrade and buy the mounts and whatever you want from the vendor.
Now, see, I wish that was an actual system that existed in Shadowlands. That would have made Shadowlands feel a whole lot better.
Well, anything would have made
That would have made
Shadowlands.
Torghast feel a whole lot better.
Let's see. This allows players to purchase items that were previously unable to obtain or difficult to obtain, such as random drops by simply spending. Even even that you can just buy the random drop. Come on, that's so good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Can we get
Now
Wrath of
this
Lich
is
King
the other
remix?
side of like what I'm really afraid of. I'm afraid that I'm going to go into Mist Remix, and I'm just going to really like that. And when I go back to retail, I'm going to be like, man, I am not very happy with this current situation.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Like I feel like it'll be fun, but also it'll be like, all right, well, there's no auction house, there's no classes for crafting or anything like that. So
Yeah, well, I think that's a smart move too, because with the meta gems, like having that sort of power just tied to a gem that basically is going to be handed out like candy, or you have to buy with bronze. Could you imagine the market for something like that? Like if that gem was on like the auction house now, how much do you think that would go for?
Depends on rarity and stuff like that. Maybe it could be 10,000, could be 100,000.
I mean, I guess that's true because that's just one example, and we don't know how common those things are. That could just be like the low tier, not to put too fine a point on it, but a bronze level gym there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll also depend on how, like, with all the. I think about all the like the patches that Pandaria got, like all the like, all the with all of the specific patches being available. Like, do you have to do world bosses to get drops? Can you still do them if you wanted? Like, or is that I'm saying, like, is that drop still there? Like, I have a lot
I
of
would
questions.
assume so. Like the way that I understand it, like whatever gear would have been able to have dropped from anywhere, right? It will
Yeah.
still drop from that like world boss, that dungeon, that raid. But one is going to be at a higher chance. But two, if you don't get what you're looking for, you get the bronze currency to kind of make up for it. So if there's like a chase piece that you're like really going after, um, something that comes to mind was the PvP stuff along the wall, and I don't know why I'm blanking on it right now. Um, but it was right there at the precipice between the Horde and Alliance zones there. Um, you don't have to do PvP kills, or do you? Is PvP going to be a thing in Remix?
That's a great question. I'm wondering if they're going to bring in the tech for war mode. I bet you they will, unless they just say, "Hey, listen, there's no PvP. It's just go go go," right? Like just go 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 go.
That's going to be really interesting. So then that makes me wonder, because the PvP gear during that time, it looked really sick. I loved it. I only got like one piece of it. I was never good enough to get the rest, but it looked really sick.
Fair, like it was good. Like I agree with you, it was good. I still curious though, like what is the plan? Like what is the long term goal for this? What's the viability for this in the future? Like what are the plans for it if it is successful? What are they? What are they looking at for it? Um, I'm very curious. So
I am too. I want this to be a good thing, and I hope that they learn from it, because it would also tell them a lot about. This is just my opinion. It would tell them a lot about what players do to actually chase an item, or why they go after any particular thing.
yeah,
Um, so I think that there's a lot of viable data that they're going to be able to pull from this, um, and what they do with it remains to be seen.
I agree. I because I think Pandora is a very good zone to work with, because it's still fairly updated. Um, it's the one that could be easily navigated by people. It's got some of the best items, I would say, like in terms of like fun and like different zone types, and like there's a lot going on there's a lot going from Pandaria for them to use it. So I think what we'll see in the future and how it'll work from there, we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm excited for it. And if it does lead up to the pre-patch of War Within, well, good news is that War Within is started. The alpha's there. It's out. It's out there.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I I don't have access yet to to the War Within alpha. I'm not. You know, I'm not popular enough to get access yet.
I mean, same. But on one hand, I'm actually really glad that I don't have access to the alpha, um, because I still am one of those who, like, I'm glad that the alpha exists for those who enjoy it, but I don't know. I would like to experience, like, especially with a new expansion, I'd like to experience everything just raw as it is, like as the developers intended. Um, Kind of like when they were talking about the Plunger Storm thing. I wasn't sure what that was going to be, and I was really glad that they kept it all a secret.
Yeah,
Um, was disappointed in what it was when it came out, but on the same side of that, I'm still glad to have had it kept from me until it was here. That way, I could make my judgment on it then, rather than like either be super disappointed early and then like be bitter about people having a thing that I wish wasn't in the game, versus, if I really enjoyed it, like, oh man, look, I get to experience this with like brand new eyes, and I don't like already have a strategy in place. Like I don't have a leg up on anybody. I didn't look at other details of just we're all here experiencing the same thing at the same time. Uh,
yeah,
there's something that is magical about that particular experience. Nothing against the alpha, like, but this is just personally. So even if I was offered an alpha key, I might just give it to you and be like, "Hey, what about my co-host? They might enjoy this better."
I would just do mostly just to play with like certain things like the earthen. Can I just make an earthen? I just want to play with it. Like there's some things I would play with and some things I wouldn't do. Like I don't know if I'd necessarily want to ruin the story, but I definitely would want to test out like dragon riding on or dynamic flight or whatever it's gonna be called now on different mounts, right? And I'd definitely want to try like the earthen. Like I would love to make that and see what their cosmetic options are and go through that and be hopefully surprised and happy with what they've added. Hopefully, because I'll tell you this, I'll be an earthen all day. Like I like the idea of like that kind of dwarf. I don't know why, but I do.
Are you gonna do a race change from your main?
No, I wouldn't do a race change. I'd probably just make a new one. Uh, just because, like, I would like to see what kind of class. I know, like, the paladin that they have, their paladin's pretty good,
Yeah.
and I'd be
Uh,
down. I'd be down for their paladin.
well, and then I guess with warbands and everything being a thing, and sort of those achievements going across all characters, which is just a great move, honestly. You wouldn't necessarily have to change your main to any one thing because it'll all just be uniform all the way around.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the paladin mount for the Earthen is pretty solid. So
I haven't looked at it yet, but and then that's on purpose. But when the time comes, I'm going to be pleasantly surprised from what I've heard. You are not the first person to have told me that that mount in particular is really nice.
yeah, they did a good job. They did like just Blizzard, our team did a great job. So also speaking of the War Within, Talon, do you have $200? We'll just lie around.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, I don't. In this economy? No. Absolutely not. No, not even a little bit. Holy crap, that is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of money. But
Dude, this better be a good butt. This better be the best butt in the world.
I mean, it is the 20th anniversary edition.
Okay.
And
But
and
wait, there's more.
there is more. It does come with that giant stat. Like I know you and I have seen statues with Final Fantasy collector's editions, right? And they're like, okay,
Uh-huh.
that's aight. Like it's an okay statue. This statue's massive. Like I don't know, like did you watch the Warcast at all? Like they had the statue next to them.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, I did.
it's pretty
It's pretty
big.
big.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. I was like, I mean, because if you think about it, Dragonflight's collector's edition cost $130. So 130, it's probably an extra 50 for that statue. And that statue stands let's see 10.7 inches by 12 inches by 2.9 inches. So it's probably 10 inches wide and then like stands almost a foot tall.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid. It's a pretty big statue.
I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. That is really nice, and I want it. But dude, $200 is that's a lot of money.
It is.
But it does look really cool.
It does.
M- my question:
Yeah.
do you think? I mean, how do you feel about it just being gold? That like is just like a bronze, maybe
I,
gold.
I'm okay with it. Like I feel I'm actually pretty okay with it. Like it looks like an actual statue. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know there's colorful statues that are in color. There's something about that looks like, hey, it's 20 years. It's bronze-esque. It tickles me in the way that I want to be tickled. So, and I'm okay with that because that's what I want out of the game. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. I already pre-ordered it, so I'm just.
Did you really?
I did. I pre-ordered
Oh
that one.
man.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Okay. Well,
that one hurt.
when you get it, we're gonna have to do like a full review on the show of like what's everything in that box because it looks really nice. Is that the art book that comes with it too?
Yeah, there's a big old art book that comes with it, and it's got a bronze pin that has Aurelia, Anduin, and Thrall on it. So
Yeah.
in terms of things that come with it, like it's not a lot, but I think because there's a giant statue, so like normally, like, hey, here's the album, and here's like they give you that stuff normally, but the fact that and maybe they will, like maybe there will be a statue, like an album in there, but they didn't mention it in the packaging, so who knows?
Well, as far as that bronze pin is concerned, usually with things like this, and you have like super detailed on characters and stuff, you like it kind of gets muddied and like you can't really tell. The That doesn't look to be the case with this one. Like you can even see the strands of hair on Thrall's beard. So it, I'm pretty impressed with that.
Yeah, I mean, even the statue itself, like the wings are like very detailed on the griffin, and like the dwarf, and like this is a callback. That dwarven rider is like that storm thrower, like that's very much a callback to
Oh yeah.
Warcraft 2. Like that's like that's a sick statue. like I know it's expensive, but this is one of those like, all right, well, my birthday's in like 2 months, and like I'm treat myself, and and that's what I did. Like I was just like, it's not me justifying it, but if I was gonna get something for my birthday, this is it. I just bought my birthday gift earlier, and it won't be here till later. So,
Well, it really does. It's super nice looking, and it absolutely is a callback. In fact, do you remember? Oh, I don't have it with me because it's in my office upstairs. But the box art, the back of the box art for the first um oh my gosh, why am I blanking on this? It wasn't the Burning Crusade bundle pack, but it was like, you remember in the early 2000s, like everything had like an open cover on top of the cover.
yeah,
When you open that up, it had a dwarf coming in riding on a griffin, like coming from like the left side of that like open panel and
yeah,
just like careening down. That's who this dude looks like, and that's exactly the vibe that I get when I look at this dude.
oh, yeah, for sure, 100%, 100%. And also, like looking at you know, the World of Warcraft, the War Within, like the Epic Edition is $90. So if that was going to be the edition I was going to get anyway, I'm getting that now with the box set.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do nerd math here, but saying like
Yeah, the gamer math episode again.
yeah, like gamer math. Yeah, I know, but like I'm getting a $90 edition of the game plus $90 worth of art book, pin, box, plus a statue, which I'm happy with. I'm okay with that.
Well, and not to ache on anybody's yum here, but if this is something you want and you can afford it and it's within your budget, it's not a bad purchase. I mean, it's really not. You do get a bunch of really good goodies. And assuming that the quality of that statue is as awesome as it looks, just here in the picture, I could see $180. I'm used to paying for like physical collector's edition 120, 130. I think the last one that I bought was the Stormblood one, and that was 140. I think that one was, and its statue wasn't even nearly as big as this. So
No, it wasn't. I saw that
like,
statue.
I think it's huge. And if that base is like die cast, there, and it's like a pretty solid, hefty statue, and not just like glued together plastic models. Um, yeah, I think that's a pretty. I'm jealous of it. I'll say that I am. I am really jealous of it. Uh, I would use that thing just as a set piece for like a D&D campaign. Hey, here's the big bad evil guy that you're about to fight.
Right?
Good luck.
Yeah, like even that. It's like, here you go.
But it comes with all the cool things, plus the statue. So if you're able to afford it and that's something that you really really like, just like Flattus had mentioned, you need to treat yourself, or you've got like a big event coming up, or like a special thing you want to celebrate. There are worse ways to do it. So if you've got the ability, go for it. Don't miss out.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and you know, don't feel pressured to buy it either.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the other part too, right?
Like they had leftover Dragonflight collector's boxes, so don't feel pressured to buy it now. They might run out of these, so they might not run out of these, and they might, you might have more. So don't feel pressure that you got to pre-order it now. I'm sure pre-order is going to be going up till a certain time. So,
And they communicate that pretty well.
yeah. So I'm sure the statue is probably why they need to pre-order it, because they need to know how many they need to make. Like that's but I think in terms of like hedging their bets, Blizzard will be the first group to be like, all right, we'll get as many as we need, because what Final Fantasy's collector's box is sold out. Like they only made so many, so it's like, why have artificial scarcity? Like why bother? Yeah. Like,
that thing
how
sold out in an hour.
Yeah, how many people are. Like if they would have had a pre-order, they would have known how many to make, and then it's fine. Like, right. So.
And like I'm on the Blizzard store right now, just to give people like a frame of reference for these statues and the quality of it. There's a 19-inch replica of the Helm of Domination.
Mm-hmm.
Without looking at the site, how much do you think that would be? 19 inches, so almost 2 feet.
Oh, the Helm of Domination it's the one you could wear, right? Like the actual like.
I don't think I could wear it, but it's pretty. I mean, it like a person could wear this realistically.
Okay, a person could wear it. I would say like 2 feet, like $800-$900 probably, if it's a true replica made of metal.
It's $400 and it's on sale right now for $240.
Hey, that's pretty, honestly. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So there is a Diablo 4 blood red Lilith statue that is 12 inches. It is on sale, and it's pretty high quality. How much do you think that one go for?
12 inches. It's on sale. That's newer though. I'll say 500 if it's painted and everything.
That's 84.
$84?
$84 right now on sale.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Now, the 20-inch Alex Straza statue, I'm just going to throw it out. Well, go ahead and guess. How much do you think that one would be?
20 inches? All right, that's 500.
720.
Okay.
And it's like super painted, like very high detailed. So for just like another $80, or what was the price? Like $74 extra that you'd be paying. That's not bad compared to what their statues are of comparable size and detail. To be fair, some of these are colored, and that's just kind of like looks like a bronze casting. But there's also this 2 foot tall thrall that's 420. So, it's a pretty good deal.
Right on. Right on. Good job, Blizzard. Blizzard out here doing the good work.
I mean, they have been taking quite a bit of W's here recently. I mean, there's
Yeah.
still a whole lot that we could be talking about, but this episode would end up being super chunky. Like, Holly went and did like, I don't know if I'd call it a content creator tour or like what, but she's made like a massive concerted effort to like just go out and reach the community. Um, and I won't get into like all of it because we might be able to save it for the next episode, but um, they really are making an effort to win back the goodwill of their player base for sure.
Yeah. And I'll always give props to Holly because, like I said, Holly used to work for EverQuest and was their person who like gave out like their timelines and everything like that, and made sure they were being held to that standard.
So far, so good.
Yep, good job, Holly.
All right.
I also am curious about one thing though. I know you're not doing any spoilers for War Within, or trying to avoid as many as you can. And I'm sure you're trying not to look at like pre-patch spoilers as well. But by any chance, did you hear any of the rumblings of the possible missing link allied race?
I did.
Okay.
I did hear rumblings. In fact, I was scrolling through YouTube the other day, and actually it was just this afternoon as the recording of this episode. And I saw this rumbling, and I immediately closed the app.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I immediately closed it. One, because I didn't want to see what it was about without having context first. Secondly, I wanted to hear if there was any like lore behind another group of people outside of the Earthen, because anything that I've ever read at all has never alluded to the Earthen having company as far as like another race of people. Now spiders and things of that nature, which that's not happy about that part. Sure.
That's one thing I guess we could talk about. Like, are you excited about arachnophobia mode?
Oh, Lord. Okay. So this is the thing.
You're like, I also don't like crabs.
I also don't like crabs. I really don't. It's almost worse, dude. Crabs are the are the spiders of the ocean, dude. So do you surely you will have seen Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it was the third one.
Yeah.
Where like Jack's in the middle of a desert, right? And then he sees the Black Pearl coming towards him. I forget which one this is. I think Dead Man's Chest. That's the second one. I don't remember which one it was. But he's like laying in like this desert, and sees the Black Pearl like coming towards him, and he's like, what's going on here? There's no water. How is this thing moving? I must be like dead or something. It's crabs. It's crabs moving the ship, right? Well, these crabs not only move the ship, but they also eat anything. They're like little bitty freaking terrifying piranhas. And they rip apart whatever falls in the ocean. And it didn't help that like Davy Jones's like people in that movie were like very crab-esque or shark-esque or whatever, and it just freaks me out, man. It really did. One of the love everything about Pirates of the Caribbean, but when I saw, I was like, oh, they are gonna have us fight realistic-looking spiders, and that was like one of the things they said, like, hey, these spiders look super super cool, and there's a lot of details in them, but we know people don't like spiders, so crab.
Yeah, crab.
So I was like, oh, this is great. Oh, dear God, no. One of my fears, and this is an irrational fear, one of my fears is that I'm going to fall asleep on the beach.
And
I'm going to wake up surrounded by crabs. And I'm not going to be able to run anywhere. Because the more I run, the more they claw at my feet, and they're just gonna like tear my flesh apart bit by bit. It's an actual nightmare I have, and it's terrifying, and I hate it. So when I looked at this, I was just like, man, this is just as bad as spiders. This is just water spiders, is what this is.
Water spiders.
Like this is not making it any better. Now, to be fair, I do put on a little bit because one, it's fun and it's for the show and everything. But on the other side of that, it is a video game, so I'm not going to be like super terrified. But there is going to be like my heart rate's definitely going to be going up for this, and I'm just like I may jump and scream, and it's a good thing I'm playing mouse and keyboard because there have been games that I've played that have had spiders or giant crabs or something, and I may have thrown a controller. Looking at you, Elden Ring. Um, so you know, hopefully I don't like knock my monitor over and like spill a drink all over everything. We'll see.
You will see.
How do you feel about it?
I'm okay with it.
Of course you are.
I got no problems. I mean, I'm also like, it's also like they showed a preview of it, and they went to the arachnid corridor, and then it like turned it on, and everything just became crabs and lobsters. It just made me laugh. So
I traded one phobia for another.
And it's funny because you and I have a mutual friend, Chili, who despises crabs. So,
Oh no!
so like for him, that's the worst thing ever. So, I'm sure he might have the same nightmare. Now he might listen to this and be like, "Nope, now that's a nightmare that I have is me being on the beach."
Oh man, look, Chili, this was not my intention. Love you, man. But we've been trying to get Chili to play WoW again. I don't think this helps us.
No, this doesn't help the cause.
I really want to know how many other people are in the same boat as me. I can't be the only one like this, right? Like it can't be.
I would love to know who's like they've made it worse. Like I have I don't do spider, I don't do crab. Like I don't do both. I don't know what either of these things. Please. Blizzard, why?
And you know what's worse? Like if it wasn't for like crab on crab crime or like other things eating crab, they just don't stop growing. So the possibility of there being a giant lobster or a giant crab being a real thing that could like crush you, like that could theoretically happen, and this doesn't make it any better.
So what you're saying is that there's the possibility of mega crab is there could be. So what you're saying theoretically speaking, there is a mega crab somewhere in the ocean.
I'm saying that we've only explored about 3% of our oceans versus like so much of our solar system, and there's a freaking reason for it. Okay,
mega crab.
Like we have yet, like we know that there's evidence of a colossal squid out there, but we've never been able to see it, right? But we see the telltale signs of like something bigger than it should be, like wrecking blue whales. Like, I mean, come on, that's the biggest creature on the planet, and then we have something that's fighting one of those. No, come on, no, thank you. I'm good. Like, I would be very surprised if there's not like somewhere in the deepest dark depths of our ocean that there's just some crab that like got stuck and he's like, I'm in this cave now, and it's gonna like be a Moana type situation where anything that falls down here is lunch. And it's just a matter of time before Cthulhu's whistle blows and then that sucker pops out of the ground.
Cthulhu's whistle. I just like the idea that someone's out there with Cthulhu's whistle and just big crab comes out.
I mean, dude, I don't know. Like the lack of evidence isn't evidence, of course, obviously, but when your brain starts to like go down that little spiral there, it's real hard to be like, man, the thoughts there. I
Yeah,
don't.
no, I hear you. I got you.
Um, but that being said, I'm gonna see how bad the spider thing is first before I switch it over to the crab.
Yeah.
Um, and if it's like if the spider thing like really is like they have the sound right and like you can see the hair on every leg of that spider as you're walking up to it, like I'm probably gonna switch it over to crab, because at least I can like crabs aren't very fast.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
can I
I'm
can
with you.
handle I can handle fighting a crab if I had to, real life, Um, but if a giant spider, I can't do that. Just the thought of like that thing being so fast and I'll take one bite and I'm just dead. That's it. That's all she wrote. Um, you know, so we'll have to see.
Right on.
I'll definitely have to stream that part so that people can get that full reaction of like, well, what's gonna happen? Are we gonna see the camera just like spiral off of the table?
Yeah. Yeah. Will it converge the crab or? All right. Well, on that note, thank you for joining us here at the tavern. We hope you had a nice time. We'll take care of the tab. Just remember, you don't have to go home. You can't stay here. And if you're going out, remember to adventure responsibly. Thank you for joining us here. We'll see you next time. Also, don't forget you can head over to Linktree/WoW Nightcap for all of our socials. All the links are there. Let us know when you hear this. Are you with Talon? Like, why crabs are worse? Like, why did they make it crabs? Uh, should it have been something else? Not crab related. Like, what if they made it like stuffed bears? Somehow.
All right, now that's just insulting, right?
Okay,
It's
just
like,
checking. I'm
I
just
was like,
checking. Just
oh,
checking.
the poor little adventurer is afraid of spiders and crabs. Oh well, what about a little bitty old teddy bear?
Yeah,
And then that teddy bear vomits venom on you, and now you're traumatized by every stuffed animal you ever had.
Barfo bear. All right. Well, thank everybody for joining us. My name's Flattus. Thank you for being here, Talon.
Have a good one. Stay safe, be responsible, and we've got just a few weeks away before the War Within starts. Get ready, get hype.
Yeah. Well, at least before until Pandora remix. At least the remix is starting soon. So, I'll thank everybody hanging out, and don't let your spiders be crabs, and don't let your crabs be dreams.